right, so let's start taking some notes. We're going to learn today about the Pythagorean theorem. I'm not sure that you learn about it in 7th grade. I don't think you do. But Pythagorean theorem only works for 90-degree triangles, okay? So one of the angles needs to be 90, all right? Um, we're going to stop talking. All right. So you always locate your 90-degree angle, and you always make an arrow pointing away from it. That arrow always points to your hypotenuse, okay? And then the other two sides are called legs. And this is how I remember it. They usually make an L or a backwards L. Do you see the L? Can you see it? Roman. Up, up, up. Let's go. All right, so what do we use this for? We use it over here. I'm over here. We use it to finding the length of a missing side. On a right triangle, but it only works for right triangles. Only. If it's not right, this is not going to work. So a lot of years ago, this guy named Pythagorean, that's why it's called the Pythagorean theorem, came up with this thing, okay? So Pythagorean was a Greek philosopher. And mathematician. All right, like I've already said at least 10 times, it only works on right triangles. Are we good? All right, so I need you to get two different coloring pencils. With one color, I'm going to use blue and orange. With one color, I'm going to color this squared. And with the other color, I'm going to use that squared. I'm going to color that squared, okay? Excuse me? Two. You need two different colors. Look, it says this right here. Use two colors in the square grids to show that the Pythagorean theorem is true. And that's what we're proving right now. Then we're going to prove it another way. So one color for the one that's 3 by 3. And then, if you can what? Yes. And then the one that's 4 by 4, I'm going to use orange. You can just make sure that you use a different color, okay? Let's go ahead and color. Shh. Hmm? How did he mess up? I can't hear you. Leave it with the highlighters. You need to use the same colors. So put those coloring pencils back in there. Just use the highlighters. All right, are we good? All right, so before we do this, let's go ahead and talk about the theorem. The theorem says that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, you got to know what each side represents, okay? So, here's what each letter represents. A and B are the legs. And C is the hypotenuse. All right? The hypotenuse is always the longest side. So this is a leg. That's a leg. And this is the hypotenuse. With me? All right, so let's go to the top. And let's label it over here. This would be A. This is B. And the hypotenuse is always C. And it's always the longest one opposite to the 90-degree angle. Yay? All right, so let's go ahead and prove it. Did everybody copy this? Over here at the bottom? Yay? All right, so let's go ahead and prove it. It says that these are the legs. 5 is the hypotenuse because when I locate my 90-degree angle and I make an arrow pointing away from it, the arrow always points to what you can see, which is C. That's how I remember it. The arrow always points to C. It says that this is one of the legs, so that would be 3 squared plus the other leg, which is 4 squared, should be equal to 5 squared. Now, what is 3 squared? 3 by 3. 9. Thank you. What is 4 by 4? 16. And what is 5 by 5? 25. Very good. And then what is 9 plus 16? 25. equals 25. So I'm going to prove it over here. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and I'm going to color a 3 by 3 in blue right in the middle of this big rectangle. So it would be right here. A 3 by 3. Now you pick the color that you did it with, right? I'm using blue, but you pick your color. So there's your 9. That's a 3 by 3, right? Now, obviously, I cannot color this like it is over there, right? So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut it apart, right? This is a 4 by 4, and that would be 16. So do I have 16 squares over here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. There you go. So now I can say, or I just proved that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? Alright, so now it's time to take a look at your cheat sheet. I gave you a cheat sheet, the little half cheat sheet. That little half cheat sheet already has that Pythagorean theorem in there for you, so take it out. This one right here. Alright, so you have a picture. The only thing that I want you to add is that arrow pointing away from the 90-degree angle. So you can add that in. Because the arrow always points to what you can see. Yay? Alright. So you have A and B, which are your legs. See how they make the L? Do you see the L? And then the arrow always points to your hypotenuse. Okay, so to figure out C, you got to do square root of A squared plus B squared. And you will learn them really, really quick. To figure out A, you say C squared minus B squared. And to figure out B, you say C squared minus A squared. And that's the square root of both of them. So for C, you add, because it's the longest side. For B and A, you take away, and you always take away from the biggest one, which is C. Okay? So keep this handy. Let's see. A right isosceles triangle has legs. What does it mean to be isosceles? Two sides are equal. Very good. And those are your legs. They're 6 meters each. And you got to find the length of the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse would be C. Alright, so for C, what's the formula? C equals square root of 6 squared plus 6 squared. Write it exactly like you see it in the calculator. Alright, so you're going to do second and square root 6 squared plus 6 squared. This is how you do the squares. That's how you do the square. And second, and that one is how you do the square root. And then you just hit enter. But it says that you need to round it to the nearest tenth. So look at your cheat sheet and how many after the point. Your first screen cheat sheet has a place value. Tenth. Look at your cheat sheet. This is tenth, right? That's tenth. How many after the point? One. There's only it's one after the point. Yes? If you got to stop there because it says to round to the nearest tenth, you need one after the point, which means I'm going to go to float and change that float to what? To 1. Thank you. Yay? Yes? All right, and then I'm going to hit enter. And what's my answer? 8.5. Very good. All right. Next one. Arrow pointing away from it. What's that letter? What's that letter? C. So C is 13. What is this one right here? Look at your picture. What is this one right here? B. So which one are you missing? A. So to calculate A, what do you have to do? C squared minus B squared. What is C? So that would be 13 squared minus 8 squared. And then you come over here and you do your thing. Second square root 13 squared minus 8 squared. It's really easy. This is probably one of the easiest things that you will do. You think it's hard? Oh God, yes. All right, are we good? What's my answer? 10.2, and those would be feet. Yay? Are you with me? Yes? Pretty easy, right? All right. Let's go to the back then. All right, so let's try it. Let's go with this one first. Find the length of the diagonal. What is the diagonal? That's your diagonal. Now let me ask you this. This looks like a rectangle, doesn't it? So if this side is 4, what is this side? 4. And if that side is 11, how much is that side? 11. Very good. All right, arrow pointing away from the 90-degree angle, and that would be your C. All right, so I'm looking for C. So what's my formula? A squared plus B squared. What is A? It doesn't matter because you're adding them, right? So you can say it's 11, you can say it's 4. It really doesn't matter. So that would be square root of 11 squared plus 4 squared. And let's go and do this. Second square root. 11 squared plus 4 squared. And then you hit enter. And that's it. I'm giving you the formula, so it should be fairly easy to do. You just got to eventually learn the formula. So that's 11.7 inches. Are you with me? Yes? All right. Let's do the next one. Is this a right triangle? Okay, if it's a right triangle, this has to be true. That has to be true. If it's a right triangle. Remember, this only works for right triangles. All right, C is your longest side. So what would C be? 8, 10, or 16? 16 square. Very good. And does it matter which one is A or B? No, just put them in order. 8 squared plus 10 squared. Okay, what is 8 squared? Just do it on your calculator. What's 8 squared? 64. What is 10 squared? 100. And what is 16 squared? 256. So what is 64 plus 100? Is that equal to 256? Heck no. So guess what? This is not a right triangle. Not a right triangle. Why? Because that side has to be equal to the other. All right. So if a triangle is a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then the triangle is a right triangle. We're saying the same thing twice in different ways. With me? Alright, so find the distance between the points 4 and negative 3 and negative 2 and 1. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and graph them, okay? These are my positives, positives, negative, and negative, okay? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. Negative 2 and positive 1. So I need the distance between that and that. I need that distance. And then I say, oh my God, how can I do this? So this is very simple to do. All you need to do is complete that triangle. Make that 90-degree angle. Make the arrow pointing away from it. What are you looking for? What you want is my yellow. A, B, or C? C. Thank you. So to calculate for C is a squared plus b squared. Yay? All right, so now I got to figure out what's A and what's B. Isn't that A and that B? Can you count them to figure out how long they are? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 squared plus 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 squared. And then calculator takes over. So second square root, 6 squared plus 4 squared. Oh. Six squared plus 4 squared. What does that equal, babies? 7.2. Very good. And this one doesn't have any units because it's not telling you that if it's inches or feet or meters or whatever. Are we good? Yay? All right, let's do the packet. Can I take this off? All right. This one right here, right? All right. So fill in the blanks for the right triangle by using the words in the vocab box. Okay, the blank is the longest side of the triangle. Leslie. Yes. The blank is the longest side of the triangle. Which word would you use? Look at your notes. You may need to take a look at your notes. The blank is the longest side of the triangle. Is it legs, hypotenuse, right angle, or opposite? Hypotenuse. Very good. The hypotenuse. All right, give your family 25 points. All right, it is blank to the right angle. Trinity, which word would you use? It is blank to the right angle. Is it legs, right angle, or opposite? Alejandro, help her out. Shh, stop talking. It is blank to the right. Any family? Because this family doesn't know. Go, Paulina. Opposite. Give your family another 25 points. Very good. It's opposite. All right. Roman. These sides are called the blank of the triangle. These two sides, what are they called? Is it legs or right angle? Legs, not right angle. The right angle is this one right here. And then this angle is 90 degrees, and it's also called a right angle. All right. So label the hypotenuse with an H. Actually, we're going to do it with a C. I don't like the H. I like the C. On each of the right triangles below. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to locate that 90-degree angle, right? Let's locate it. Where your L is. Where's your L? Look for your L. Look for your L. Look for your L. Do you see the L's? Backward L's, regular L, upside down L, upside down and backward L, and regular L. Do you see them? All right, now you're going to do what? Arrow pointing away from it. And you're going to take your highlighter, and what are we going to highlight if we're looking for C? What are we highlighting? The hypotenuse, very good, which is what? Where do I highlight? The line where the arrow is pointing to, right? It's always the line that the arrow is pointing to. All right. So let's write about it. How did you know that that was the hypotenuse? Is the longest side. Very good. Now we didn't measure on this one, so I'm going to write that down because that is correct information. It is the longest side, but how did we actually know? So it's opposite to what? To the right angle. How do we know? Because it's opposite to the 90-degree angle. That's how we knew. And then we knew that the 90-degree angle is the one that's made by the L's, the legs, the two sides that make the L. Now this is correct, but that's not how we knew. We knew it because it was opposite to the 90-degree angle. Yay? Are you guys with me? Yes? All right. All right, before we go to this, let's do another activity. instructions. We're going to cut this out, but do not start cutting